we have some things to talk about. But before that, hello, welcome and welcome back to T is for Temidayo. It is 11:33 p.m. Today is Friday, February 27th, 2026. Today is day 80. Day 80 of 365 days of tea for me. Let's get it started. Okay. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do this and let this be done, and then we will get into it. But there are some things we need to talk about. So here we go. 2 pumps of the good juice. That's it. And we did our shins yesterday, so today we're going to do our quads. Just bear with me. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm already feeling myself getting heated because of the topic of today's conversation, which that's all I'm going to say until this is done. Thankfully, my quads are huge and they absorb the tea very quickly, getting in the nooks and the crannies. We're done. Okay, so we need to talk about what's happening. Now, I know I like to, keep things pretty chill, pretty open, pretty vague on this channel. But we got to talk about what's happening right now in Kansas. And we got to talk about that because of the chain reaction that is now available. As you all know, the the right to vote has been really contentious. Like the past couple of months, I would say the past couple of years, they've been slowly working this out. But many states, particularly conservative states, red states, here in these United States, have been coming for several people and their right to vote. And they've been doing that in a couple of different ways, but a lot of it has to do on the basis of this quote unquote citizenship and being able to prove citizenship. It is why so many people were very, very clear about getting passports, about, if you're going to use a real ID, getting your real ID, so that you have the proper documentation should we get to that point that you have to be able to prove your citizenship in a way beyond simply like a state issued standard ID or driver's license. Now let's talk about Kansas. Recently, legislation has passed in the state of Kansas that is now forcing folks on their state issued IDs to assign their gender markers corresponding to their assigned sex at birth. And if that gender marker is not easily identifiable to the assigned sex at birth, for instance, you have someone who is like transmasc and has gone through some sort of transformational procedures, and their state issued driver's license still shows them assigned female at birth, and they get, pulled over, and those things don't match in the eyes of whoever is pulling them over, their driver's licenses will be taken away. And there are a bunch of other ways in which these licenses can be taken away, but essentially, folks are looking at like a trans travel ban. And now bringing this back to voting, because if your state issued driver's license is no longer available to you, showing the gender marker that you are living with, that you are living through, then how are you going to be able to cast your ballot? We also already know, USPS no longer has to send you your absentee ballot, for whatever reason, in whatever state. If they forget to send you your ballot, they will no longer be penalized, which essentially gives them carte blanche to do whatever they want with these absentee ballots. And so we're seeing that happening. We're seeing this happening. And we're recognizing like this war on trans people is coming to a serious head. I also just saw, only like a few moments ago, that Texas will move forward with their drag ban. And so while that's not directly affecting voting per se, it is affecting the ability for people like me to exist, and not be seen as a criminal in the eyes of the law simply for the way that we are existing. And this is not new to American history. This is not new to world history. But we are seeing right now that the monster that the United States has decided to create at this time is this like fear around trans people. This trans panic is really coming to a head. And if you're having trans people who don't have an opportunity to get a driver's license or a state issued ID to reflect how they are living, then they will no longer be able to receive any kind of benefits from a government that does not recognize anything that does not exist on a state issued ID. So it doesn't even begin and end at voting. It begins at voting. It can go anywhere to like Medicare, Medicaid, which we are already seeing, come under fire. It can go to things like welfare. It can go to things like, I don't know, it could probably even get to things like financial aid, or like being able to prove that you live somewhere, because you, in the eyes of this state issued ID, is not the same you that exists in reality. And I have been really, I've been feeling really good. I've been feeling really not depressed. I've been feeling really safe and joyful. And then I see news like this. And I keep trying to figure out why. Like, I'll be in a good stretch, and all out of nowhere, all of a sudden, I am like back to square one. And sometimes it's internal, but a lot of the times I can trace the news that has come forward. So if you are watching, whether you are trans or not, whether you are on a hormone replacement or not, whether you are just curious about the life of this particular trans person, I ask you to fight, to hold joy with me, to keep your eyes on places like Kansas and Minnesota and Texas and wherever else this will crop up, because if it goes well in Kansas, who knows what other states will decide to ratify something similar. So I leave us all with a call to action that says not only do we rally behind Kansas, but we take a look at our local organizations that are already doing this work to make sure that if we have these protections, they remain, and if we don't have these protections, we get them as quickly as possible. Tune in. Do not look away. Do not look away. Do not look away. If you are trans, know that I love you and I'm here with you. And if you are not trans, know that I love you and I hope that you are fighting for me and for us. Because if they come for me today, I promise you they will try to come for you tomorrow. That is how that works. So a fight for me to keep me safe is a fight for you too. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. T is for Temidayo. Tune in tomorrow for another day of 365 days of tea for me. I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.